Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to hang out. Um, yeah, I really don't have any like formal things to say. I'm just as excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. Yeah, how's audio for everyone? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Some people haven't seen it yet. Understandable. It is 4 hours long. That's understandable. Uh, yeah. Jathula, sorry, this is going fast. Just said that the dialogue was cheesy. I watched it with vaccinated friends, and we did remark how there were lines that if you had put a gun to my head, I would have been like, oh, that's obviously we didn't added that were still in this cut. So some of those lines, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess my delineation between what was Snyder and what was Whedon wasn't as like precise as I thought it was. Audio sounds good. Okay, great. Um, yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. I know. In some sense, it is fun because I am just I'm very ready to just see some other ideas about these superheroes. It's just like I just want it. I just want something new. And maybe that's my lust for the new coming out of me. But yeah. Oh my God. I know. Sora brought up Snyder disavowing Geeks and Gamers, which thank goodness. That was fantastic, and they were so mad. I honestly think so. That happened right before I watched the cut. So seeing that, I was like, you know what? That was great. And I think it almost actually made the viewing of it worse for me because not that I was like, I kind of guess I knew what to expect, but I think because I saw Snyder do that earlier in the day, I was like, you know what? Okay, great. Like, I'm going to be with friends. I haven't seen friends in years. And, this is the first time I'm going to get to hang out with people who, are safe to hang out with. And then when I was watching it, it was just like, yeah, just everything that you expected it to be was there. Like, to say that nothing surprised me, which I think that was actually the thing that disappointed me most was like, I don't know, I guess I was just kind of going in with it with like almost no expectations. And I saw enough tweets earlier in the day that people were like pleasantly surprised by it that I was like indifferent and maybe even on the side of like slight optimism. But I yeah, I feel bad that my honest, like, not even that it's like a review because it was just like I didn't take notes or anything. I watched it in like a friend setting, but yeah, it was just a lot of the same. um, 4 hours of the same. But this is all to say that the like Whedon cut, I don't even consider that like a movie in the sense it feels like a fake movie. It feels like a movie that someone would have made with zero budget. So considering the first that I don't even consider that a movie, this I could see why people were like, oh, it's like so much better. So that also could be taken into uh, account when I was watching it. I mean, that was so bad, and the shift in tones was like, wow, no one cared about making this like a seamless transition. So in that regard, all the things that are like make the first movie not a movie are not in this, but this is, yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna start with it's a 30 Rock type movie. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, it's like a movie that would have been in 30 Rock because it's so not a movie. The first version of this. Um, Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. Sure, yeah, I do. The thing about them having to switch their ending because of other DC plans, super sucks, and that does feel like it kind of like blew their whole plan. Although at this point, I'm kind of just want to move on and see. I like James Gunn, so I'm just like, I'm excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I'm excited for the Robbie Pattinson Batterman. Snyder had a cameo. Did he? I didn't. I did have a lot of margaritas while this was going on. But it did make the viewing great. I cheered twice during the 4-hour movie. I think it was in the 2 times Batman like threatens people like, I'll fucking kill you. I was like, yeah. That was great. Oh yeah, all the cyborg stuff was a lot. Well, the things that they added were like, oh, okay, like that is a semblance of like an idea for a character. But yeah, and also like being an actor, I guess I always find myself being like, oh man, none of these actors really get to act. Does that make sense in these movies? Because everything is so like, it's so mythological and over the top that it's like, and especially, I think I talked about this in the series, but the way that the lines need to be delivered is very like, it kind of like people are comparing this to like Return of the King and stuff, because it's very like mythological, very over the top. But in that sense, it's like none of the characters really get to show moments of humanity, which again ties back to like the Superman saves the cat. But I think it's like the moments of like true humanity that like actors get to have fun with that just do not exist in these movies. Yeah, which also gives it that feel that like Snyder is going for, but it's at the detriment of like, and not to compare it to Marvel, because I don't really like comparing the two, but just to be like, Marvel gets to play around with so many tones and so many different types of characters and so many different points of view within the same universe, whereas this type of filmmaking, the characters kind of, it's like the point of view has been taken care of for you. It's a very curated aesthetic that these characters are living in. So yeah, it kind of takes away a lot of the choices that like actors get to make. But that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on Kal-El, no! That's my thoughts on that line. Yamitsu said they cut the scene where Batman tells Flash to save one person, which I thought was added. Yeah. Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Well, thank you. Someone, so they like my shirt. Thank you, Michelle. That is true. Yeah. I did not rewatch the like Whedon cut just because again, like the movie is so bad that I can't even like watch it. But yeah, it was like they took away that moment, but then added the hot dog girl scene, and this is where me reading tweets about it again, like I think it tainted my experience, because I saw a tweet that was like, oh my goodness, like I love that they gave Flash like a love interest, and so I in my tiny brain was like, oh, that's so, because that's the other thing. It's like, with this DC universe, like, you had that like one moment where like Batman and Wonder Woman like held hands for a moment, but everything is very, very subtle, except the things that are not subtle. But like those things are supposed to be like very subtle, but like those are the things I like. If we were gonna do the Batman Wonder Woman like thing, which I'm all for, I like just wish that we could have really like seen it, I guess. I think that's the thing. It's like the things that are grand are the things that I don't necessarily care about. The things that I care about, like those moments, are so underplayed, that it's just like, well, I would have loved to see more of that, but it's like, that's not why people are coming to the movie, apparently. But all to say, so when someone was like, oh, don't eat my Cat's trying to eat my pork. My pork bowl.
Got a super chat a minute ago.
Oh, thank you, Super Chat. Oh, I did miss it. Thank you, Will. Thank you. I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, so then when people were saying like, oh, they gave Flash a girlfriend, I was like, okay, that's something exciting. I want to see it. And it was just him in slow motion catching a girl, catching the hot dog, and then we like didn't see her again. So yeah, that is an example of like the things that I saw that I was like, oh, okay, I'm excited to see this, and then like when I watched it, I was like, whew, Flash got a Martha. Okay, thank you so much, Duval. The more people bring up the fact that the theatrical version cut down in POC characters, Cyborg down to nothing, tells me that Whedon thinks, oh, absolutely. I mean, I said this in the series, but it's like that's one of the things that we can all agree on, which is great. I always look for things that can bring us together. Is how terrible Whedon is. And yeah, and like, it's like Wonder Woman has her own set of problems in this version of the DCEU, the DCEU universe, the DCEU. The universe is the EU. But yeah, one of the problems in that early version, or in that first version of this, was like how much she talked about her dead boyfriend. It was like, girl, this is unbelievable for far too many reasons. And to the point where, and this is the Whedon version, it was like extremely misogynistic. Just the amount that she seemed obsessed with her boyfriend who's been dead for 200 years. Like she had no thoughts in her head between now and then. And also in the books, or in many of the comic books, is canonically not straight. So for her to be that concerned about one guy she dated was like, tap it out. But yeah, also echoed in Cyborg, that was like, Cyborg wasn't even a character in the first one, which again, it's like that wasn't even a movie really. Oh, hello, Key. I don't know.
Okay, we might be back.
Okay, we might be back. Okay, wonderful. Great. Okay, we're back. Okay, great. We're back, guys. Sorry. Oh man, I know. My LA's internet has been all over the place. Yeah. Oh, this time I will say that even though, again, like, I knew what to expect, so I don't know why my brain like played these tricks on me, but the color grading this time around, I really found myself to be just really over it. And that's such a personal thing. That's not even a thing I would maybe even put in a video. I'm sure I mentioned it in one of the videos, but man, and clearly I love color. So like, again, like I want to reiterate that is a very personal taste. But man, for just every setting to have the exact same color grading, like the Atlanteans color grading look the same as the Amazonians, which look the same as yeah, I was just like, there are ways to make it both dark and like monochronistic and texturally like and it was just like, and the fact that he also wanted to release it in black and white, I was just like, why? You honestly don't have to do that. It's basically already there. But again, that is a very, again, looking at my set, that is a very personal issue. Which is again why I am just simply happy that there will be room for other people to have some takes on the character. Oh, I'm also excited for the new Superman that they have started working on. So that's also exciting. Thank you, Duval. Favorite dumb moment was when Darkseid, forgetting that he left one planet, that he had the afterlife equation, like he forgot where he left his keys. There were a lot of things like that. Oh, okay, wonderful. Oh, thank you guys. We got some super chats. B1 Mirio, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Leaf Batty, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
They had a comment too.
Oh, did I what?
They had a comment too if you want to scroll up.
Oh, okay. I think I already got that one. Did it make me see any more interested in the Flash's own movie? I like Flash the character a lot. I mean, Ezra Miller, I not my favorite. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I also just I don't know. I know that's Ezra Miller is on camera choking a fan. And at least to my knowledge, I don't know if he's addressed it. But yeah, so for that reason, I'm not excited. But also, and it was much worse again in the first cut, which is also again like I don't like thinking about that movie because to me it's like not even a movie where clearly his lines were just like written by Whedon like the day before they were gonna shoot. So it was like ham to the max. But even in this one, his like hamminess, like something about it was just like it was butting heads with the other characters in like a way. I don't know. I like the Flash, and I would be excited for him to have a movie, but I guess I just don't like. Yeah, I don't know. Are you Irish? I am. On my dad's side, who came over during the potato famine. Thank you so much. Oh, Dan O'Brien. Hi. Hello. I mean, it could be an imposter. Which, you know what? I welcome that. Dan would want to be replaced in his life, so you know what? Go for it. go replace Dan. Oh yeah, I heard some people talking about when like the lady's in slow motion and he just like goes and like moves a tendril of her hair and it's like I understand that it's supposed to be like cute. But it's, again, I mean, not to, okay, great, Dan's gonna replace me. You know what? Great. What if I would love to fish every day. I could do that. I can do that. Well, and again, it's like, not to like Martha everyone, but like, what a quintessential example of like adding a female character for basically no reason other than for her to be the cat that Flash has to save. And it was like, and we didn't see her again, so I assume that she just fell in love with the Flash and for the next 3 hours of the movie just like kept thinking about him. So that's my headcanon for what happened after that. Stream cut out. Oh, sorry, I left Blatty. How fashy. Again, like, it kind of was just, like, an extension. Like, it's funny how to see, like, he really started strong with the Jesus metaphor in the first one, which, like, he didn't altogether abandon, but it, like, almost, like, it didn't come to fruition, but it kind of did, because it's, like, he got resurrected, but, that was also a weird part, is the resurrection scene was basically the same. That was the one scene I was expecting to be a lot different just because it was so weird along with all the other weird scenes in the first version. But that was a scene I was expecting to be completely different that ended up being basically the same for all intents and purposes. So that was another thing that was like, a thing that I thought was a problem, I guess, wasn't a problem. Joker talking about Batman giving him the reach around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. I mean, well, here's the thing. It's like, it's the thing I guess I kind of discussed in like the series is like, it is traditional to queer code your villains, but you have to know why that is and have something to say about it and or be a queer creator within it just people are going to take it at face value because that's the society that we live in. one day Snyder will write a gay character in his franchise, but any of his franchises, but he has yet to do it. And that was the thing I didn't say in my series because I kind of guess it was like self-explanatory, but it's like you queer code so many of your villain characters and then to just never ever 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 create a queer protagonist. Like that is where the conflict comes in, because it's like it wouldn't matter if you were doing one thing but then doing the work to not perpetuate that. And same with the female characters. Like I don't mind and I don't care if like if many of your women characters are going to be like male adjacent. Like that just, especially in superhero, especially if you're, coming from comic books, like that is going to be either a part of it or it needs to be something, or it's something that you address within your work. But it's like, if you just do one and then don't do anything to work against it, then it's like you're just depicting without commentary. So exploring a cave in the highest heels possible, the Wonder Woman. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a person. I know. I think this is what happened in the what was it? What's his face? Is the Jurassic World movie? Yeah, where she's running around in heels. I don't mind heels because I like heels. If I was a superhero, I'd probably wear heels. But yeah. There are details that end up, just being like the detail of where her pregnancy test is. I was watching it with a bunch of women and we were just laughing because like to have it in like that location is so weird. Usually you keep it by the toilet, and for it to be like safe and effective, like no pee stick isn't safe. Just like small things like that. Hilarious. Yeah. Mary Sue added an article how Wonder Woman was a lot better in the Snyder Cut. Oh, absolutely. I think I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but again, not to keep referencing the Whedon Cut because I hardly consider that a movie, but all of her dialogue was like written by someone that like had never spoken to a woman and heard that one of the Wonder Woman movies was gonna be about her boyfriend dying. It was like, oh, that probably dictated the rest of her life because her life revolves around other men. Yeah. I absolutely agree. Yeah, there was some fun there was some fun character moments for each character. It was just so few and far in between. Oh yeah, they cut out the Jared Leto "We Live in a Society." They cut out there were so many promo moments that didn't happen at all, which is like Joker on the cross or whatever. Remember when that was going around? Yeah. And that's where it's like that's the thing that's like I wish I actually would have kept in because at this point just like go for it, for it to just be in the promo material, not in the actual cut. It's like it was 4 hours. You could put anything you wanted. You could have kept it. Yeah, Jesus Joker. I know, and then 84 was like, you know what? But like, what if her life did revolve around him? Yeah, that was weird. And it was also weird for Wonder Woman 84 to not make what's her face? The Catwoman. What's the actress's name? Ugh. We know. Everyone knows. Kristen Wiig. It was odd for her to not just be queer. Like, that moment where she's like, we could get lunch. Like, that's such like a, like, she could have just been, and it would have been fun for that to be an added layer of like, Oh, did I miss your chat, Meme King? I'm sorry. I can try to scroll up and find it. What about the full fight scene that includes Darkseid and a bunch of characters that we would never see again? Michael Cortness. Again, the fight scenes, I was like excited for them, and I just didn't think they were that like interesting. Like a character would have Flash's like finger thing. It was cool, when you first see it, when he does it in like the when you're first meeting his character, but then he does it 3 more times throughout the movie in ways that just like didn't heighten enough for me. And then of course at the same time I'm watching, Avatar the Last Airbender, and like those fight scenes are so fucking good for like a kids TV show. And yeah, I'm sure I will probably never watch this 4-hour movie again. But yeah, the fight scenes, I was just like, they didn't excite me kind of like I was expecting them to. Also, I guess that was another thing I was kind of like oddly disappointed by.
I'm gonna paste Mean King's comment into the chat.
Okay, thanks. Oh, the freeze breath. I like that they at least used the freeze breath. I know that was the thing that people bring up sometimes, is like Superman doesn't use his like full breadth of powers in the DCEU, so it was fun to like, at least see him do it like that. Yeah. What do you guys think about the fight scene? Because I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about the fight scene, so I don't know if I'm alone in that. Age of Heroes, it was flashback.
I pasted it from your account.
Oh, okay. Okay. Called it Lois's only character in this movie is, but yeah. Yes, Lois is Clark's reason for being evil. Right. It's implied that he is evil because she dies. Absolutely. I don't know if you guys saw this, but oh, Joda said that started skipping all the action scenes at the halfway point. I know. And again, like that is the thing, I did not expect to have any like I was like, at least, it'll be cool in that regard. And yeah, they honestly were just so boring, and it didn't help that the scenes in between were just so, yeah. And this is coming from, I really like slow paced movies. I like meditative movies. I love that genre of movies. A plot is a thing that is one of the last things, honestly, that I need for a movie to have. But it just, for me, like that type of setup just like doesn't work with like this type of environment, because then it's just like, I guess I'm meditating with Cyborg, in like his other world, which is like fine, but I don't know like why I'm here. And then we like cut away to like someone else's meditation, and yeah, it was also like, what are we meditating on? What a lot of daddy mommy stuff, a lot of stuff. Yeah, the sheer excess is great. That's the thing. It's like, I guess it's like and this again just like such a personal taste, but it's like I just wish it was like the grandioseness of the Snyder Cut with like bits of like extra over the top, like, I don't know, like we're calling like 80s like sci-fi movies. Like there are ways to be so over the top and not so like constricted, I guess is what I'm trying to say, which again is like personal preference. Oh man, and yeah, there was some person like every time Aquaman was in the water, I just like wanted to watch the Aquaman movie, because like it kept reminding me of like better moments within the DCEU that like made me want to, because like like the water speckles were so fun and stuff. I feel like of all the DCEU, yeah, maybe the Aquaman like hits the closest to what I'm talking about. It's like riding sharks and stuff like that. That's what I want to see. Like if we're gonna fucking go for it, like absolutely, and like yeah, like that. Yeah. Saw ripped Amazons. Oh yeah, like all the things, like all the basic things that you like want to be there are there. So like it checks all the boxes. Deadlift Cyborg's dad, yeah, that was sad. But the thing about with it being 4 hours long, I did find myself it feeling hard for my emotions to carry over to each scene, because like you'd have one scene where I'm just like laughing because it's the hot dog scene, or like the sweater scene, or just like, or one of Lois's scenes that is just like something that will make me like kind of take me out of it, and then it will have a scene where it's like something actually important happens. Yeah, like I was absolutely most invested in Cyborg's story, which is I think what most people took away. But it's like I almost had to like re-engage myself every time he came on screen because I had already I had already been lost a moment before to something else that happened. It was hard to like keep it like cohesive, and I guess for like my like emotional journey it was all over the place, which is why like there were parts where I was laughing. I said earlier there were parts I like cheered, there were parts that I was just like I am bored with what I am seeing. Yeah, oh, the Martian Manhunter, I think. Oh, and like the dream wake up Martian on the port, like that whole sequence was like what? Yeah. That's what I mean by like emotions being, like something baffling will happen, and then the next scene I have to be like, oh, okay, I have to remember this.
It might be back now.
Okay, might be back now. Maybe. Oh, Henry Cavill. I would not say Schwarzenegger. Henry Cavill's a better actor than Schwarzenegger. I liked him in The Witcher.
We're good.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, Henry Cavill's great in The Witcher. Hello, we're back. Yeah, I do think Henry Cavill's a better actor than Schwarzenegger, and he's also not that buff. Like he's very buff, but like Schwarzenegger's that kind of buff where it's like it's actually not attractive. It's when they like come back around. Again, personal taste, like where it's like too much. No, thank you. I love Batman and Robin. Hello, I am Martian Manhunter, also known as Ben Barely Alive Affleck. Yeah. Actually, I have a friend who worked on the promo, the promo for the Snyder Cut, and said that there were a lot of photos that looked exactly like the meme smoking Ben Affleck in her kit to like to make for the Justice League, which is hilarious. I know, yeah. That's also like again, like that's what I mean by like character like again with like the Diana and Batman. It's like I wish they were just like I just wish they could flirt, because it's like at least I would have seen Affleck do something that didn't make me like so depressed for him and his like, well, not depressed, but hello Dockseed, my old friend. Yeah, a lot of people said that like Cavill is not the problem. I wouldn't say any of the actors are like a as a director there's a lot of things you can do with actors. I mean, there are a lot of directors who direct people who are not actors who get amazing performances. So yeah, like that's it's Martha Manhunter. They need to do a Snyder movie with what Stephanie Meyer did, the Twilight, gender swapping. Totally agree. That'd be amazing. It would have been funny if in Birds of Prey they would have had some like reference to like the other side of the DCEU that is like within the same but looks totally different. That would have been my joke note had I given some. Duval, thank you. Worst DCEU costume: Batman, Aquaman, or Cyborg? Man, a lot of people tweeting about Aquaman's jeans, which are for sure a problem.
He doesn't really have a costume.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a costume. It's mostly like the
Shirt.
His costume is shirtless, which like, you know what? Again, when I say things I like about the Snyderverse, it's almost female gazy in the way of how hetero it is, if that makes sense. Batman's is pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly, but like most Batman costumes are kind of. I did see a lot of people tweeting about Cyborg's costume, making him look like skinny in the hips, which like he did when he was walking, there were moments that he kind of let his feet looked like out of proportion with the rest of his body, which I was like, Teen Titans did a little bit better job. Yeah, those are all pretty bad. Wonder Woman's is the best costume, probably. And yeah, I mean, we probably know how I feel about the no color Superman outfit. That is the other thing. And again, this is such a personal thing. So again, I when I'm watching these movies, I like almost don't even think this because it's like, not that it's not fair, but it's like I know what I'm expecting going into a Snyder movie. But yeah, I just the desaturation of, you know, so many superhero movies at this point is, whew, you know. Oh, hi, John. Hello. Oh, man. Hello from Ireland. Hello. Well, don't worry. Once you move, you'll have a full 4 hours to just settle into your new home. So that will be exciting. Boop-a-doop-doo. There's one scene where Cyborg looked like a robot. For the rest, yeah. There's an image going around. I think it's when they're all in one of the flying machines, but because it's a still image, it looks so bad. Like they're all in different lighting. Like Wonder Woman looks like she's not even like she's floating on the ship. It's very funny. Hello, can we please return to the fun comic book movies? Yeah, I very much, you know, people were on Twitter sharing that like Superman and Lois clip, and people were like, it's been so long since we've seen a Superman do something like this, and it's like, yeah, it's been long. But that is true. You know, there is Shazam and Aquaman and Birds of Prey, and it does feel like you're definitely not alone in feeling that, in so much so that other filmmakers were like, yeah, us too, and like, you know. And I do like all those three movies. Yeah, I really liked Birds of Prey. When I was watching it, I think for like the first quarter of it, I was like, man, I don't know. But then once it got to the halfway point and I saw what it was going for, I was like, this is fantastic. And not only that, had the best costumes, had the best coloring, had some of the best performances because, you know, people got to like be their characters. Best action. Dan, I thought Affleck looked like a deep fake in the ending combo. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He, by that point, he looked like a different. He didn't look like. He looked like a different character than when he was playing before. It was wild. Yeah. Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was like a different format than a lot of superhero movies. So understandable if it's not your thing. Yeah, Suicide Squad with James Gunn, I think, will be good. Because, again, like, the character things is something that the DCU has a lot of trouble with. It's, you know, yeah. And especially specifically in the DCU, and especially their female characters, just because, at least before Birds of Prey and before Suicide Squad tried to do this, but the, you know, cut ended up not, you know. But yeah, there's just so limited versions of womanhood and femininity in it. It's like, yeah, you're either, now we talked about this in my thing, but you're a Martha, or, you know, you're Wonder Woman worried about your boyfriend. Like, and so, you know, as far as like characters that get you excited to like see the universe, yeah, James Gunn is sorely needed to like bring some of that into some ins for people that don't, you know, don't see themselves in the Batman Superman type character, if we will. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how. It'll be interesting to see how different and or same it is. Yeah, I think someone said on here, you know, he does Marvel stuff, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Oh yeah, I haven't seen the Harley Quinn animated yet, but I've heard great things about it. Why did policemen guard the Superman memorial? Great question.
Standing so you can see the cat.
Oh, okay, great. Oh yeah, absolutely, sure. Sure, little baby. She's hanging out. Oh yeah, the just all the ending bits were really like really funny. Yeah, the whole last like 20 minutes probably I was laughing through most of it. So I am excited for Matt Reeves' Batman. I am. I think that's fun. Do I think Marvel movies have the same problematic tropes to differing degrees, and also because they cover such different topics, the problems that they end up having just end up being different. But there are things that it does a lot better at doing. There are a lot more, like I said, there's just a lot more like flavors and takes and points of view. I think that's really what it is in the Marvel universe. They kind of built it in a way where each character can have a very precise point of view. And that's kind of what you're watching for. You're watching to watch Captain Marvel, Captain America clash with whatever because they have strong points of view. Whereas as the DCEU, like the point of view is like it's like comes from like the director. Like the characters themselves almost have like a monolithic point of view besides like good guy or bad guy. So, when the characters are quipping, it's like their points of view are kind of just like different facets of the same idea. Is this making sense? So,
Yes.
okay, great. Which again adds to the grandioseness of it all, but it comes at the expense of like, well, there are less characters to feel, that you're participating in what you're seeing. Yeah. So it's like, are you in the one sense, in one universe, you're watching a bunch of characters, that have strong points of view that are clashing with their beliefs and morals, and in the other one, you have like a point of view in a very like meditative milieu, kind of like all soupy together, which honestly matches his aesthetic, so you can't say it's not consistent. So there you go. Yeah, a lot of people bring up action figures when they talk about the Zack Snyder universe, which is something that he's obviously going for, but yeah. It's like, if I'm gonna watch, it's like, why am I not watching like Lawrence of Arabia? If I want the feeling of watching Lawrence of Arabia, I'll just watch Lawrence of Arabia. And Lawrence of Arabia is a lot more explicit with like their, with their man on man loving content. So, but yeah. What I don't get, apparently the actors are all behind the idea of the Snyder Cut, but they knew what the movie they were in.
They get paid more.
They do get paid more. They get to renegotiate their contracts. There's a lot that happens like that when you release a movie. So, but besides that, like, it is interesting because, again, I think that was the thing that I was excited to see a lot more character moments because the actors were so excited about it. And the fact there were so few and far between, I was just like, I guess that's what I wanted. And I guess I thought that was a thing that they also wanted. But, yeah. Oh, Danny boy, did I miss it? Oh, overpower characters. Yeah, dancing. Thought it was hilarious at Cyborg that he can control all markets and technology, and he spends a film looking constipated trying to open a door. I know that is a fact. That is a factor. That is also like going along. Actually, you know what? We recently watched the first X-Men with obviously the Rift Tracks commentary. And I do not like Bryan Singer in the slightest. But it was interesting to see because it was so early in the superhero, the superhero movie universe that there was a moment where just like Cyclops gets his glasses knocked off and he like beams and like that was enough for a whole action scene because like you had never seen that before. So just like Cyclops getting his glasses knocked off was like a huge deal and he like accidentally chopped off, like parts of the building that we're in. But by the time we're getting to this 4-hour long DCEU, yeah, you have like a guy who can control the markets, but and it's like, and we also, especially in this one, it had the sense that like no one lived in Metropolis or Gotham, like we didn't have any like side story, there was nothing going on like that level. So you got to see like big huge action scenes, but the things that would have given it like stakes to like groundedness, I guess, just weren't there, kind of. So it was also oddly like felt really empty for how not empty it was, which I guess is because a lot of the guys they were fighting, those bees, the bee men looked exactly like the guys from Adventure Bros, and I could not get that out of my head. I was like, those are the guys from Adventure Bros, and so that was funny. But yeah, all to say that it's like, man, going from back in the like early on when having an action set piece was very simple to this, which it's like it's so non-simple that it's almost like it's the opposite spectrum. Oh, I have not read the Polygon review on it. Probably most reviews I read on it I like agree with to the most part. The only overwhelming thing that I can say though, and I feel so bad saying this because again, like I actually went into it like I wouldn't say excited, but maybe excited, but I just really found it boring, man, and like that's like the worst thing I wanted it to be. Like and I know other people didn't feel that way, so, and I'm glad that they liked it and didn't feel that way. But for all the things that Snyder can do and like is good at, like the fight scenes were just like ended up being repetitive to me, and like and also even though like Steppenwolf and Darkseid, like I understand conceptually, I understand that they are different, but as I'm watching it emotionally, there's no difference for me except that one of them is working for, like one of them slightly under the other one, like and even visually again because everything is so monochromistic, like they look the same, and the Grandy Goodness and what's his face were just like kind of there and also looked the same and also presumably had the same point of view. So I like, why do you have one character in 3 different characters doing the same thing? So someone asked, do you think the fan base will move on, or will these demand a continuation? Obviously I think people that like this iteration will obviously want it, and like the things that they like about it are widely available in many forms of entertainment. I guess that's really my thing. It's like the biggest thing I take away is like the things that people like about these movies are valid, but are things that are in a lot of like content. Like again, Snyder is so renaissanceistic in a way, that it's like we've kind of seen this before and like and the things that people like about it I just want to be like, don't worry, you will always be taken care of. I promise you. I promise you. Your vision will always be looked after. People will always be looking to please you, quite honestly. So, and that is to say, I guess that is why I am so excited to see other people have a crack at it, because the people that, that. Am I back? I'm not back yet.
It's kind of coming and going.
Oh, okay.
We might be back now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. We think we're back. I will probably wrap up soon. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is I love Lois Lane as a character. She's one of my favorite comic book characters, and I like that she's not a superhero. And I like that she's like journal. Like, there's so many things I like about her that are not in the Snyderverse that it's like, great, like of anyone actually, that's probably the depiction I like the least. So, but she's the key. She's the mother's box. It was really funny that mother's box, and they literally like zoomed to her womb, like woohoo. Aw, good Dan. I'm glad. Yeah, this was a nice debrief. This was nice. Yeah, man, they depowered Lois Lane in a way that is just, at least to me, like unforgettable. As a person that really likes Lois Lane. Something DACA. Oh my god, I love the title sequences. Oh, there were times that we cheered at the title sequences because they were so like, blah. Oh yeah, and this is all obviously, this doesn't even need to be said, but yeah, too many womb references, too many baby references, too many mother boxes, too much of that, too much. But yeah, that is the thing. When I in my like, most of the people actually who say like really mean things on my Snyder videos are the people that like Snyder recently disavowed. So like, thank God. But some people would be like, well, you just like hate all of it. And it's like, no, actually, I love superheroes and I love Lois Lane, and that's why I'm making these videos, is because I too love it so much that I need to say my piece. So, they really like to take away parts of you to make their argument work better. But nah, man, I love her. To whom it may concern. Oh my goodness, yeah. There's just too much of that. That would, if I were to re-edit it, that would have been on the cutting floor. Oh, I know, the hallelujah. Oh, woo. That is the second time he's used it in his filmography. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. It was. Oh yeah, I could show off my plaque. Oh, guys, they gave me a plaque or whatever. As you can see, it's presented to Maggie May Fish, Murphy, and Lewis. Okay, my two kitties. Yeah. They're such a part of the creative process, Yeah, so this was fun. If you haven't watched it yet, this might be a thing that you kind of just like wait until you can see friends to watch with, because in a group setting, if I had to watch this alone, no, it would have ended our relationship. It would have been, oh man. Watching it in a group is how it was. He wanted to release it to theater, so there you go. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, just as far as videos coming out, I'm like working on 5 of them at the same time right now, so I'm a little swamped, but they're all really fun, so that is something to look forward to. Lots of fun collabs, some interviews with some directors. Oh yes, Princess Weeks is doing a video on the Snyder Cut that I will be in. We don't know what we're doing yet, but great. I know I gotta go before I start. I started coughing and then I took a water. I'm coughing more. Yeah, so look forward to Princess's video. I'm dying, so I gotta go. Haha. Okay. I love you guys. I'm dying.